This is the plaintiff, Marilyn Bryant. She says her son, the defendant, bought a car from her and hasn't paid her for it yet. It's very difficult for her to have to sue her own son in court, but what's right is right. He needs to be taught a lesson about how the real world works, and that's why she's bringing him to court today. She also wants her $1,400, the amount owed on the car. This is the defendant, Silva Bryant. He says his dear mother was informed she could no longer drive, and the Department of Motor Vehicles told her she could only give him the car. That's right. Under the law, she was not able to sell a car to her son, so she signed the title over to him. He doesn't owe the plaintiff any money, for crying out loud. It's his own mother, and she should give him the car she couldn't use any longer. He's accused of making a ma mad. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,500 for emotional distress.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff sold her son, the defendant, a car and says that he stiffed her. But the defendant says he couldn't drive. She's got the title, so she's all wet. It's the case of you drive me insane.
Okay, Marilyn Bryant?
Yes.
You are suing your son, Silva Bryant, for $1,400, the balance that you say he owes you on a car that you sold to him. You've counterclaimed against your mother for $1,500 for emotional distress. Ms. Bryant, tell me what happened.
I couldn't drive no more, so I decided to get the car, to sell my car to my son for $1,500.
May I ask you why you couldn't drive anymore?
Because my eyes are giving me a problem. I didn't want to take that chance.
Okay. All right. So you decide to sell it to him, and he agrees to buy it for $1,500?
Yes.
All right. Is that accurate so far? And then what happens?
He only paid me $100. That's it.
What happened? When he paid you $100 and didn't pay you anything else, what did you do?
I called him, never answered.
How long were you trying to pursue him to get him to pay his obligation?
I told him to sign $100 a month.
A month?
A month.
How long ago did you give him the car?
In April the 1st.
Of this year?
Yes.
Okay, and so other than that first 100, he's never paid anything?
No.
All right, did he ever say why?
No.
What did you do, just stop talking to his mother?
Yes.
Is this common behavior for him?
No.
What's going on?
All right. Basically, the situation was I was giving the car, as she would say. She was selling me the car. I was unaware that in the state of New York, as I went to go receive the car from her, that the DMV told me that in the state of New York, a mother cannot sell a son a vehicle in the
What?
state. A mother cannot sell her son or spouse a vehicle.
What?
They would have to be by willingly giving up the vehicle.
Says who? Who told you that?
The Department of Motor Vehicles.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
And if they did, whoever spoke to you was an idiot. That's just not accurate.
This is what they said when I
What
went
difference does that make with you paying? You know that you agreed to buy the car from your mother, so why would you not pay your mother? That's not an excuse.
Because I feel like I've put so much into the car. Like,
What do you mean?
I've done numerous repairs. I've done things that minor
He did
repairs.
not.
Like,
Hold on. I don't care how many repairs you did. If you bought the car from me, do you think you'd be able to tell me, I changed my mind. I decided you're giving me the car because I've had to do repairs. You don't get to say that. The repairs are on you too. Why would you do this to your own mother?
I didn't. It wasn't intentionally.
But it is intentionally, because look at where we are.
It was just that I thought, being that I was very responsible of keeping up with the car and maintaining it to the position where it is.
You mean beforehand?
Yes.
Before she sold it to you?
Beforehand, yes.
Oh, so stuff that what about that she wiped your hiney when you were little? Can she charge you for that now? I don't think it's funny. I'm glad you two are laughing. I'm mortified. I'm mortified. If my kid treated me like this after everything I did for these kids, I would be mortified. You should be mortified. Why would you do this to your mother? Who is the lady who's with you?
That's my girlfriend.
Come on up.
So your son stiffed you in the most disrespectful of ways. Would you sue him?
No, it's absolutely not. It's not acceptable in a family manner, because if you sue your son and you can come back and at home, eventually you guys get back together, and it's really embarrassing.
But he's disrespected you by not paying and saying, I'm not going to pay you.
Doesn't matter. Family's family.
What do you think?
I need to sue my son. He needs to learn about the real world.
That's the thing. I mean, at a point, you got to teach the kid a lesson he'll hear. Going inside the courtroom.
You know what they say, right? They say that you watch how a man treats his mama to figure out how he's going to treat you. Right? What do you think about this?
Everything is wrong. It's wrong.
Have you told him you think it's wrong?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What did she do wrong? Do you think she did something wrong?
No.
Okay. What do you think he did wrong?
I asked him, I said, aren't you supposed to be paying your mother back some money?
And what did he say to you? That's what he said to you? Not this whole DMV malarkey? Go ahead, baby. Go ahead and sit down. Sit down. How long have you been dating him?
2 years.
2 years. Cut your losses. I'm a little insulted that you come in here with this DMV story, because do you watch People's Court?
Yes.
Did you seriously think I was going to buy that?
No.
So then why'd you throw it out there?
Because
This is your
at the
mother.
time, I understand, like, it is my mother. I still love her at the end of the day.
If
but
you love her,
we
you
have
don't act like you
differences.
love her.
I do. We have differences sometimes.
No, there's no differences. You owe the lady $1,400. Where's her money? Not only have you not paid her back, you have the hubris to sue her for $1,500 for emotional distress. What's that
Right.
about?
That's the ordeal that took place yesterday.
Which is what?
I've been threatened, called from anonymous people, roommates that I live with, about this situation.
Wait, is it anonymous or is it your roommate? That's not very anonymous.
They're my roommates.
They are your roommates.
Yes.
And they're calling you.
Yes.
They're not. That's not anonymous. You know who it
okay,
is.
yes,
The word
I know
anonymous
who it
means you
is.
don't know who's calling you.
Okay. They are calling me. I know who it is.
Okay, your roommates are saying to you,
They're getting in between the situation. Of
Meaning?
Of what's going on between my mom and I.
and why are they doing that?
Because they feel like in a way it's wrong and then in a way it's right.
Do they? That's why they're giving you a hard time, because they feel in a way it's
Yes.
right?
Or she could be very persuasive sometimes.
So your roommates are in touch with your mom?
Yes. Without my knowledge.
Okay, so you're suing her for $1,500 because your roommates said what to you? Pay your mama? Why aren't you paying your
They
mama?
told me to pay my mother. We got into a...
So you deserve $1,500 over that? You got into a
I'm
little
going to
what?
tell you why. We got into a dispute, which is that I was arrested yesterday.
Oh my gosh, for what?
I was arrested yesterday for
what?
allegedly filing a false report against them.
How did that come about?
I filed against them the attack that happened in the apartment.
Earlier in the day?
Yes.
And
when
then
I came home from
how
work.
did the cops conclude that that had been false?
Because I talked to detectives and
And you confessed that you had filed a false report?
no, they determined that I filed a false report.
Yeah, but they don't do that. They had to have independent evidence that what you said wasn't true. There had to be something other than the other guys saying it wasn't
didn't
true.
tell me anything.
Did you end up telling the police that you in fact had filed a false report?
No.
Did you get thrown out?
Yes.
They tell you they don't want you living there?
Yes.
Were you there? Come on up. You're under oath, and I have found you to be a truthful individual so far.
I try to be.
Okay,
Between the two
so
of us.
what happened yesterday?
Well, yesterday, he called me about like 7-something and asked me what was I doing. I said to him, I'm in my house, I'm laying down. He said, oh, well, get dressed and head over to the house. I'm on my way there. I said, okay, no problem. I'm halfway there. He already got there. Oh, they jumping me, they hitting me, they attacking me. I said, well, what are you talking about? By then, I was already at the top of the hill by his block. I see him running back up the street. I said, what happened? They jumped me and attacked me. Get in the car, we going to the precinct. We get to the 47th precinct, and we're telling them what happened, and they told us to go back to the house, call the police from there. So, yes, so the police
is
could
what
come
they
back there, and then...
Meaning from your car, though, not
yes,
get
from
into the
car.
house.
Yeah, from
Okay.
the car. So
Because
that's what
it was
we
a different
did.
precinct?
Huh?
Was it a different precinct?
The 47th precinct.
Right, but was it the same precinct responding, or would it have
It
been...
was the same one.
It was the same person.
But the reason why
Okay.
we went there is because previously there was a previous altercation where they took almost 3 hours to come. So that's why we went there in person.
All right, so did the
instead.
police come to the location?
They came.
And then what happened?
They came. They had their lights out. I assume they saw when the police was coming in. So they hurried up and came downstairs. The aunt came downstairs, and the older sister came downstairs. And the cops asked them, what's going on, and they explained what was going on. That he owes them money. He owes the aunt
money.
He owes the aunt money, and
He owes what aunt money?
The roommate's aunt's money.
Oh, totally separate from this?
Yes.
Okay, and they're saying that to the police, and go on.
And they're telling the police what occurred when he got to the house. He said that the aunt punched him in the face, and the other two sisters jumped on him, and they kicked him and punched him until he fell on the floor, and he was in fetal position.
Not fecal.
Fetal, sorry.
I hope not.
Fetal position.
Okay.
And he felt a hand go in his pocket because he had just took out money out the bank to pay the rent. He said he felt a hand go in the pocket and take the money out. He said while they were counting the money, he crawled out the door to go down the steps, and they pushed him down the steps. He rolled down the steps, and the landlord was down there, and the landlord was like, "I'm not getting involved with this. It's none of my business." When I got to the precinct, the aunt and the two sisters were already out the door.
Very interesting. What does that have to do with you owing your mother $1,400?
Because they're in cahoots with each other.
What? Because one of the things they said was, and you not only owe us money, but you owe your mother money? How is that her fault? That she should pay you $1,500 for emotional distress?
Because they...
What is wrong with you? I'm serious. What is wrong with you?
Nothing.
How do you treat your mama that way?
I don't
How did you raise a kid who would treat you that way?
He was adopted when I.
What does that have to do with it? You still raised him, right?
Yes.
So how did you raise a kid who would treat you that way? How did you not teach him better?
I thought I did.
Has he ever been like this before?
No.
Have you ever loaned him money before?
No.
Oh, well, maybe that's the part we should keep out of it. Right? Pay your mother back. $1,400 verdict for the plaintiff on the defendant's counterclaim. Here's a surprise. 0.
Okay, you should just all know, loaning money to relatives, because we've seen it in People's Court for years, can be really, really dangerous. And this is something you want to get down in writing, and it has to be very clear. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.